Greetings and welcome to Factorio. I'm Dgray, and today we are continuing our entry level to Megabase, and we are at a very exciting point in this Let's Play. So if we look right now at our production tab, we are not really lacking anything. That means our current setup can supply all the resources in we need for all the machines we have running. So if we look at our production tab right now, we can see that we are hovering very steadily around 1.4, 1.5k science. So that means we can start to do a bit of measuring up against what we are working with. One of the things we're looking at, as you can see, is these. They are starting to buffer up. But if we look at our production tab, since that is what's been lacking the most, we can see that production science has a limit of producing about 1.5k per minute. I think somewhere around that. Sorry, producing over here. I was looking at the wrong tab, sorry. Over here, producing about 2.5k at maximum when it's running full speed. So that means we have to revise our setup a bit. Or not a setup, but our calculations. The reason why we are so far off, we used to call it 700. In theory, it's 1.25k, or something around that. Science per minute. The reason why it's this, and not like we did before, is that we updated the amount of builds, or amount of rails we have coming in, to make sure that all of it is running. So that pretty much doubled the production we had, since we still have about 2 builds out. So in that regard, it is very good. And we get twice as much out of our cells. So what this means is that we can start to do something really important. And that is expanding this out until we have the 4K science per minute we need. The last thing I'll expand out is our, what's it called, space science. But the other ones, we should quite simply be able to just expand out and get what we need. Firstly, let's expand out our labs. I think that is the #1 priority we have at the moment, even, is what I'm trying to say. So if we have 2 of these at the moment, that's about 1500, as you can see we're doing right here. To get to 4K, we'll need about, what's that going to be, 6 of these? 7? About 6 of these to get to what we need. So let's put down 6. And then we can kind of take the things away we need to hit 4K. Or just live with it running a bit faster than what we need and just line it up with the rest. So let's start with this, since this is pretty much the measuring stick for everything in the future. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means that this, at the moment, will be able to consume more than 4k science per minute. And then we can start to see what bottlenecks we have around the base to make sure that they run all the time. The good thing about doing this way is that we don't need to do too much math other than what we have done right now. But we can, in theory even, just follow what we're missing here at the bottom to figure out what do we need to expand out in the base until we can supply these fully with the 4k science per minute we need. I think that will be the solution we go with. It's a bit more simple to do than doing ratios and figuring out exactly how much you need of each of these to just do this and just do huge expansions every time. I think that will be the way we're gonna handle this. So right now, robots are idling a bit, but that is because we are pretty much just producing science at the moment, and that is exactly what I want. So now we'll just have to look at what happens. At the moment, it's probably gonna be a green science, then a blue one. It's gonna run out next, because most of it is running, buffering a small amount. But we'll have to get this built first, and then we'll see how it looks. Luckily, it shouldn't take that long. While this is building, I'm just going to talk about one thing I did in between episodes, and that is put down a bit of mining for stone. We were starting to lack it, didn't have any buffering going on, so just placed down a few outposts here and there to gather in some stone, which was pretty much what was holding back this one together with the iron. So now I'm quite excited to see what kind of numbers our base is gonna pull with our current setup. That is pretty much my main thing. So as I was saying, waiting for this to be built, let's just see if we have anything close by. We kind of want to get to these. We want to get this lake covered in things as well. There we are. That should give us room for a lot more robots that can hopefully take a better way than going all the way around as they are right now. So let's just connect these up. There we are, doing a bit of maintenance while we wait for our science setup to get running. So as soon as these are built, we'll start to see these start to work, and they'll start to request in a ton of items from the entire base. Hopefully we can easily support it. Or we can't support it, but hopefully we can see what's lacking as soon as that starts to run a bit faster. So that is at least the case. But so far it's looking quite good. They're getting the modules in, and that is exactly what I want to see. That is getting filled in. This is getting filled in. We can start to expand up a bit in terms of this one to right here. And then we have these close by, so we can actually craft it or place it down even. And that is my main thing to look at right now. Power wise, we should be good for a long time. At least I have planned it that way. So hopefully we have enough power to keep us going into 2, maybe even 3k science per minute. And from there, we will just see what we're lacking. So this is 2 out of the 4. How is our supply looking? Here we see a lot of them are starting to lack. So green, blue, and purple is some of the things. But as soon as these fill up, hopefully we'll start to buffer. Yeah. So right now, let's just let it run for a few minutes to get some kind of indication of how bad it is. In terms of production in every other cell, we are still buffering a ton. So hopefully that won't be an issue right away. Let's just fill in this. Did line up this to get constructed, so we can have a nice cover here of robots, or roboports even, so they can go all around the map without needing to worry about getting charged. Yeah, and things just work. These are lacking a bit, but then again, we'll never craft any more labs as soon as this is put down. Then pretty much a whole lab cell setup is done. And yeah, for now we'll just leave it like that. Maybe at some point in the future we will go maybe north or east and set up a second base like this one and gather all the resources from there, just so they don't have to travel as far as they are at the moment. I think that could be a way to make this completely modular, or at least figure out what kind of things do we need at each area to make it modular. I think that could be a very cool way to do it, now that we have all the things we need. Yeah, easy, only halfway down in the night. So I have 1 terajoule left, so it shouldn't be that bad. And we're idling at about, what is that gonna be? 12, 16, 17 or something like that of gigawatts per day, and we can satisfy up to already 27 here, and it'll go even higher than that. So maybe even 30 Gs or something like that. So now that this is running, we can start to put down more things. Flying robot frames are lacking though, so that should be something we might have to expand out. So this one can't keep up anymore running max speed. So that'll mean we'll have to get a second setup like this, or yeah, we can just do a second setup like this to get what we need. So let's just do that. Can't remember how many robots we need in total, or how many frames we need in total, but I know this is not enough just from looking at this. And now every sign is starting to lag. Oh yeah, military is lacking because we're buffering, so that's pretty much the only reason. But hopefully, as soon as these are full, we'll get a better indication of what really is missing. But a second robot port, crafting area shouldn't be the worst thing to get up and running. But very happy with this, to be honest. Things are just working. This one is waiting as we did before because it's above 60k, just like I want. And take a quick look at satellites launched, sorry. We're almost at 1k. So that is very exciting that we're getting that close. And things are just chugging along. And what's called building up. Why are you not working non-stop? You should be. Just looked like one of them went offline, but that can't be right. Oh yeah, it's just these that are stopping, and that's correct. So what are we missing? Just lamps. The rest have been placed down now. They're just gonna put in the modules. Here comes even more of those. Oh, perfect. And then we'll soon have a very good indication of our consumption. We are almost at, or we just hit 2k at some point here for all of the scientists. Will probably not last that long, but just hitting the 2k at one point is a quite nice accomplishment. Of course, we'll have to monitor this 1.7, 1.8. So yeah, that's way higher. 3.3, can it go that high? Wow, that means we're completely off in terms of what we had here. And this can pretty much supply everything we need. Yeah, such an easy setup to do to produce a ton of things. So I might want to revisit what we did right here. Did it go any higher at some point? 3.4. That's seriously what it can produce. Seems so. So let's change this to 3.4. Seems I did the math completely wrong. But that's the way it is. So that's the max, almost 4k science per minute. The green, on the other hand, that should all be running right now. Going to the end. Yeah, backing up. So how much are you producing? If we just have a quick little look. Not on you, but on this one. 1.6, 1.7. We can call it 1.6, and that is what we have. So this one is good enough. That is the correct ratio. This one is probably lacking something. No, it's all running. That's good. How much is that at? That's at 1.7, 1.8. So let's call it 1.7, 1.8. Yeah, it's about where we're at. So we'll need 2.5 of these to keep things running. Could pretty much just do 2 more to get things looking great. So in theory, we could expand expand out what we need. What about the last science? 1.7. Where are you at? 2.6. Is it really producing that much? Can even go higher. Can do 3K in one of these. Damn. So this is pretty much also all we need to keep things moving along. So you can actually change this to 3K, because I know you can do that much at least. So pretty much just a half cell of this will give us more than enough for 4K. But I'm just gonna add in the maximum amount just to check it out. In terms of resources, I don't see any issues at the moment, since we are producing more than enough to handle this, with the limiting factor being our space science at 1.6. Modules 1.2. So to be honest, let's just expand this out and get the rest we need. Oh, let's just check the military science as well. Nah, there was running, though no beacons. Never mind. So let's see here. You'll need pretty much half a cell of this. We'll just do one more to have all the red we need. Please take this part and just do a red. Should we just put it down right here? So do 1 and 1. That should give us all of our yellow. Pretty much just do this. Oh, it's gonna cost a lot of modules. How many? Let's just check. It's only 200, that's not that bad. To make sure we have everything we need. So that is yellow more than... that's going to produce 6K a minute, so that's fine. Then we'll do this one. That's going to produce almost 7K a minute if we want to go down that route. So that's yellow and that one done. We need 3 green. Say 1, 2, 3. That is green done. So yellow, green, gold, or utility is completely done. That means we just need this one, and we'll need just, let's say, 3 of you. So let's see here. Can we put you a bit better place than right here? Because right now you are kind of just in the middle of things. Yeah, let's just copy this one and place it a bit better than we are at the moment. We'll leave this one. That one is full. So let's just put one in right here. Let's do it a bit better, like in the middle. That's 1. That's almost 4K. Let's do one more. There we are. That is 4K of the blue. Should probably beacon this at some point. But yeah, let's just wait with that, since we don't really use what's called military science for anything. But we can do it in the future if we want. So red done. Green done. Let's mark it on the map. Green and green. Blue and blue. And blue. Then we have utility. Yeah, we're at, oh yeah. Utility and red, producing an insane amount. And then we pretty much just need these two. And we just need double this, and then we should be good. So let's just grab that and place it over here. So 1, 2. There we are. That is all the science setups doing more than 4K, except our space one. And that one I'll hold off on a bit. Might have been a mistake to do this. I don't think we have enough modules to support this. But we'll find out in a minute how badly we have screwed ourselves over. Hopefully we have enough. But it is a lot of expansion in one go. Oh well. what's the worst that can happen? We might run out of power, we might waste a bit of resources, but as long as we have robots, we should be able to get it all flown in from around the world. At least we have a few things not being tapped at the moment. And then we'll just see what will lack. Goes more of those. So that was some massive science expansion, and let's just watch this get done. I could also expand what's called or rocket ones, but I will just hold off on this a bit until this is the limiting factor. And then we'll just expand out to what this needs at some point. So not do an insane expansion that's gonna completely kill the base. Because right now I think we are consuming quite a bit of power. But I am very much enjoying watching this work. Oh, look at that, guys. This is pretty much the entire culmination of what we are working towards. Or at least in terms of what it will look like. So yeah, let's just watch this get built. Here's the green. That is slowly starting. That'll give us a huge surplus of greens. How does the module look? Ooh, we are gonna be in serious trouble trying to get all of this filled. Just look at those waves of robots. Yeah, we will also need to get a bit more roboports down at this area. It's gonna be very congested. Because we do need to fly in so many items. So that is always nice. Oh, just look at that wave formation. We're activating all the way down to here now in our circuit production. Oh, it makes me giddy watching stuff like this. The game doesn't like it though. We're down at 27 when we're in the map view. But if we go down here, we can hit almost 40. Not too bad, so let's just stay here and watch this a bit. So that's another green one done. That means that both the greens are done. Those are running. They're gonna back up at some point. That is exactly what I want. Oh, you are lacking power because we moved you up. That is actually good that I noticed that. Because that will also be the case over here then. So let's just line you up correctly. Though we could solve it a bit easier by just adding in a substation. But for now that should work. At the top they are getting power. But really should start to remember to use substations instead. Because that would make this look a bit better. So substation here, here and here. Was... oh wait, we have to do it here as well. So yeah. It's good enough. It's not the end of the world. It's just something we have to remember. Oh, we actually got... did we get modules and everything? We still have 100 left. Wow, we actually had enough. Well, that's a bit surprising, but not something I'm gonna complain about. Now the big question is, how is our power gonna handle this? Because in the beginning, we are gonna request so many things. Iron plate and copper is also gonna struggle a bit. Yeah, our base is gonna be very starved for a little while. But then again, we are running all of the science. We are building modules galore to get this filled up. And we're slowly emptying out this when we don't have enough at the furnace areas. But to be honest, it's not that bad what we're missing. Could have been a lot worse. I'm just glad we had modules for all of it. That is pretty much my main concern. I'm not gonna beacon you, you can stay slow for a little while. But that means all of these are starting to run, or not all of them, at least the ones that have enough, but they all have modules. Oh, that looks brilliant. How about the robots? About 70k in the air, a bit less than 70k. There we go, that's more than 70k. Oh, it's going down very fast. Holy moly. That is perfect. So is anything bottlenecking anywhere at the moment? Luckily we have this huge stripe to supply enough. But I'm guessing that maybe our iron and copper is gonna run into some issues at some point. But so far it looks quite good. Oh, you are trying to run. We can just give you a small amount here. I know it might not be needed in the future, but it's always good just to fix a bit of the highway for when big things happen like this. There we are. Oh god. So while we get it to stabilize, let's just add in a few more things. That being roboports to expand out the lake coverage here, since we will have to go out and grab even more resources when we continue the space outwards. That means we can cover this little iron patch right here. And we could also just expand out a small amount this way to get some radar coverage. Anywhere else we need to get some radar coverage? Here and there. And stone. Oh, nice big copper patches. But then again, we are still at a surplus. Yeah, we still have a ton to gather around the world. We need to cover this though with roboports. This is a huge area we haven't done anything to yet. And it is quite important to get it done. Because without this we will be in quite a bit of trouble going forward. There we are. So now that's going to get connected up. We do have room for a few more roboports right here. That means that this will get connected up. We can connect up this as well. And all of this will need to be connected up. But yeah, I'll probably do a bit of this off camera, just fixing our network so the robots can fly around freely. So yeah. I'll call this a highly successful episode. And it's actually holding out still, steel as well. So we'll just be seeing whatever we're missing here, and that is what we'll look at next episode, whatever is holding us back. But if you're looking right now, this is 2k science per minute getting consumed. Let's just remove these. Look at our science. That is more than 2k science minutes the last 10 minutes. I know some of this is because it's being buffered, and that is the main reason, but I'm still quite happy that we are consuming that much. So we're halfway there in terms of getting this running, even though it's a bit of buffering. So I'll end the episode here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you're still enjoying this Let's Play. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's been a long time since I've had a base at this size, and it's been the first time I've done it completely with robots. So yeah, that is very, very cool. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you'll give me a like, subscribe, and then I will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.